Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode. I am Carl, as always, joined with Dakota.
Hey, everybody.
And we're going to take a look at my first attempt at using some yellow and blue stuff mixed together, or green stuff. So I have three prints here, all of which failed, I think, because I was reluctant to take the time to change my FEP, which I decided was fine. And it would be a good opportunity to try to salvage these with some green stuff. So I watched a few videos. They said use a little water, mix the yellow and blue stuff together, it turns into green stuff. You put that in the model, and it, fixes bad things, or you can make things, or whatever. So I get this stuff out here and just start doing, the old twist it, bop it, pull it sort of method. And this goes on for a minute.
Real time, how long did it take you to knead it all together?
So this is at 300% speed here, and I think this goes for like a minute and a half. So my hand started to cramp a little. I was doubting any elementary school art teacher when they said blue and yellow mixed together makes green. I was like, this is ridiculous. But eventually we do start to get a little green here. I mix it, I dip my fingers in water a handful of times here because people on YouTube said to do that. And it come nice. Here I tried to smush it on my table, which just picked up a bunch of debris from the table that I got to pick out for like a minute. And eventually I was like, screw it. It's just part of the oasis now. And yeah, so then I got a nice little piece of plastic left over to put it on instead of putting it on my dirty crafting table. And there we go. We have some green stuff.
What is like the consistency of the green stuff at this point?
Play-Doh that's set out for a couple hours.
Okay, it's like a tough Play-Doh. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's not like, when you first crack Play-Doh open and it's like ooey gooey goodness. This is not it. This is like Play-Doh that doesn't like going to the family reunions, not for any particular reason other than it's antisocial. And I just kind of start wedging it in here. I break off a piece of the cactus because my ogre hands just decided that's what we're going to do today. And I get a little water and start smearing it out. I will pull out some tools here in a minute. I have like a needle file set that, it's funny, it was one of my original miniature painting purchases. I still remember my original order. It was a Learn to Paint kit by Reaper Miniatures, a needle file set, like this dumb magnifying glass alligator clip thing that sits on a table that I've literally never one time used, and a can of Army Painter's Necrotic Flesh. That was all the original order because I wanted to paint some Zombicide. And to this day, that needle file set has come in hand literally constantly. It's insane. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to shape this here and get something semi passable, knowing that I can, well, not knowing, assuming I can like sand this down later, or maybe use the file set to mold it after. I'm like, well, I'd rather have a little bulge right now than have a divot.
Right.
This is one of my needle file tools. Trying to just get like a round-ish sort of edge here. And yeah, just using that to kind of push into some nooks and crannies. So this is just going to be a flat sand/dirt kind of base, and it's melded with a rock here on this part. I have two of them in the same spot, and then one of them I tried to flip the print to make sure it wasn't the print that was the pain. And so it failed on the other side of the print.
So as you're working with it, does it get harder? Obviously, I know it hardens over time, but in this short amount of time, it's staying the pretty much that same consistency.
Yeah, I think it advertises as having, let me look real quick, 1.5 to 2 hours working time.
Gotcha.
So it takes 24 hours to get a full cure, which I was going out of town the next day. So that was a non-issue. I actually had
Mhm.
like 48 hours before I got back to it. And this is me fighting with a piece, and I have a bright idea that I'm going to use the little nice rolled rubber handle that's on this tool, and it actually became awesome for shaping this for
Mhm.
what I wanted to get here. And I'm fighting with some little piece that's just sticking
Mhm.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah, the tool, it looks like obviously using tools is always sometimes easier, especially when you have giant fingers with miniatures. Um, I mean, you kind of get into those recesses to like really press it in there. It looks like it's working a little bit easier.
Yep. And then we go to this next one. This one is a huge section that needs, like, this was definitely the largest of the fails.
Hmm.
So I was kind of having doubts on whether or not this one was going to be salvageable at all. Um, and two of these, we're going to go through the video here, and they go all the way to getting primed and slap chopped. One of them does not. It's for a friend. He wanted to prime it and stuff himself. That was why I was printing the whole thing to begin with. So one of them doesn't leave the GreenStuff stage, and then two of them we're going to take from start to finish here. But the water was definitely a nice tip from other, I don't remember what YouTube videos I watched, but
Hmm.
it really helped this stuff like not stick to your fingers while you're trying to push it in.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it really, like once you press it and then you go to pull out it, I feel like adhesing to the model could be difficult in this, like,
Yeah.
during these stages where you want it to not come back with you.
Yeah. And then I'm just kind of using the back end of this tool again, those nice little rolling pin, and then just trying to blend the edges as seamlessly as you can.
Hmm.
That way, when I hit it with some sandpaper, at this point, I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to go about that. Uh, it blends nicely.
Right.
So there's all three of them. Those are finished here, and
Is
take a
this
look.
is this right as you finished them, like putting it on?
Nope, this is 2 days later.
Okay.
So I mean, they feel good at this point, and I decided to start with a sheet of a 60 grit here, and I start on the bottom of the model because I was like, oh, if the sandpaper's not working out
Hmm.
well, yeah, there's a better look at my needle file set. I was like, okay, and away we go. And this worked as well as I was kind of hoping it would. I was sort of running that over until it felt pretty flush and I didn't have any crazy divots. Once again, I wasn't worried about the bottom side as I fat finger smashed
Hmm.
a cactus again, which I don't think I show me gluing on later, but I just glue that back on at some other point in time. And
Yeah.
then grab a file and we just work on kind of blending the edges together. And at this point, I'm looking at it going like, I think this is going to prime pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it right now, obviously, like this seems like it's sanding pretty well. It doesn't, I know you're at a fast speed here and whatnot, but it looks like it's, you know, doing what it should be
Yeah,
doing in theory.
as
Like,
expected, basically. It was.
yeah.
Oh, and then yeah, I was like, oh, what if I lay this down and I can? Because then I'm not holding two parts. If I lay it down, I'm only holding one,
Uh-huh.
and that was a nice way to kind of get that good rounded edge there. It's one less part to fat finger break cactus off.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Now, was it easy? Pretty easy to sand it. I know we're seeing here on the video. How would you describe it? Sanding it flush? Was it a lot of effort, or was it just like doing what it's supposed to?
Yeah,
Obviously.
no, it felt very much like I was just sanding a part of the model that like didn't print great. You know, sometimes you'll get like a line or something on a print and grab a piece of sandpaper and flatten that out, or the files or what. But once they're primed, from the top of the models, you'll see me periodically like check the bottom of the model, because that's the kind of the giveaway on where it was fixed. So the bottom and like the edge, because the print has like a line in the edge of it there that obviously the GreenStuff, I wasn't going to take the time to put this little line in on the edge, but I'm pretty happy with how they prime up. And at this point, I'm pretty sure that any issues with them you can fix between the slap chop and when you go to paint them in general. Let's break out my trusty little dry brush palette and give these guys a little slap chopping.
So I think, like, looking at this, it obviously worked pretty effectively for fixing your repairs. How do you think you'd go? Would you experiment on some models? Is it like adding, almost not adding bits to them, but adding a little bit of, like, say you're doing your Death Guard, adding some Nurgle effects? Like,
so one thing that's definitely gonna be on the list for my GreenStuff future is adding like beards or mohawks or something. I do plan on getting at least some form of like Space Marines or whatever, and I want to add that kind of stuff. So I think that would be next. And then maybe adding Nurgle things to Nurgle, whether it's like ooze, or I'm not going to start with trying to add like antlers or tentacles or like anything crazy like that. But yeah, I definitely see a use of me and GreenStuff in the future having a nice little relationship here.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you could do like extra guts falling out of a dude pretty easily, you know, just like rolling it together and whatnot.
For sure. But that's going to be the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to do the YouTube things for us. Like, subscribe, drop a comment on the video. There are links below to our Discord channel. You come in, chat with us, hang out. If there's anything special you'd like to see, that's a great place to put it. And follow us on Instagram. Until next time, bye.